as soon as we took a film, we'd send it home, and because we didn't have any projectors or anything, so we really didn't know what the movies were like, so we had to rely on getting them sent home, having somebody view them, mum, the family, friends, and they'd write back and let us know what sort of cameraman we were, whether we were panning too fast or things were too far away, out of focus. And, you know, we relied on them to let us know how good we were filming.
It was marvellous to get the movies and see the boys, and our boys especially. And then we'd be looking forward to letters, counting the days till you got a letter from them. Peter sent a projector back from Hong Kong, and then we were terribly excited about seeing them all on film. We used to put the projector outside and at night, and we'd be sitting there watching all the boys, their antics, and then with Peter with his gun. That sort of showed us how they were really, what it was really like there for the boys.
I think they had a lot of fun, and I think there was a fair bit of malarkey going on at the gun position from what one heard. I had no idea that a couple of our gunners were shooting off Super 8 film right, left and centre at the gun position. But when things got serious, as for instance on the 6th of August, they were 100%.
A particular operation called Ballarat, we had a big contact with the Viet Cong, and Nobby, or Neville Clark, was out there right in the thick of it. He called the fire in, and he brought it in so close, it was almost on top of him and the soldiers he was with.
Rumours flew quickly, and sightings made by one platoon communicated to us that the enemy were about to get up and charge, Long Tan style. I felt we had to do something, and quickly. In particular, we had to silence a most aggressive knot of enemy over on the right. The contact had begun at 10:50 hours and continued until the afternoon. Some 3 hours, I suppose. Enemy casualties were at first estimated by us at 40. It turned out, we were later told, to be 200. Result of infantry small arms weapons, artillery fire and airstrikes. An interesting footnote to the Battle of the Sui Cha Phar on the 6th of August. The enemy used all his rockets and automatic weapons, but not his mortars. We didn't know he had them. However, he didn't use them for fear of hitting his own men, as the contact was so close. I've always taken this as the finest compliment the gunners of 106 Battery could ever get. The enemy had mortars on the spot and did not use them. Our guns were 10 kilometres away, but we trusted them enough to bring them down to 25 metres from our own men. A Company always cherished a special affection for those gunners back at the gun position.
As we were going through the villages, the thing that we noticed most was, or I noticed anyway, was the look of hatred on the people's faces, and it was quite unsettling. We thought we were doing the right thing by going over there, being sent over by the government, and this hatred coming from these people, sort of took us aback. But I suppose being in the situation that they had, where they'd been involved in war for probably 35 or 40 years with the Japanese, the French, the Americans, and they'd just continually been in a war situation. And, with us, here we are, we're coming into it again, so we're sort of prolonging their war. So I suppose, while we were there, the war was there, and they probably blamed us for continuing the war.
Eventually, after a lot of work out in the bush, we get a thing called R&C, rest and convalescence. What a joke that was. We needed convalescence when we got back, actually, because we were burnt out from what we did while we were down there. I was at a place called Vong Tau, which was an old French resort originally. Had a lovely time, went down to the beach, and there was a hamburger stand down there. Couldn't believe it, all the Yanks were there and the Australians, and just a little club. And here they were enjoying themselves on the beach. They were surfing. There's guys up in the towers, not watching for the enemy, they were watching that we didn't get drowned. Guys going past in speedboats skiing, I couldn't believe it. The bar life looked pretty seedy, actually, and to a young 20-year-old, I suppose it's exciting when you're in a war zone. But I kept away from the, let's say, the more exciting nightlife because I had been told about the exotic diseases I could pick up. So I joined a club called the Vietnam Virgins, believe it or not. After a while, I said to the guys, we've got to get back to Nui Dat. There's definitely a war on, and we're on holiday down here. Let's go. He said, oh, hold on, we've got a couple more days yet, don't panic. It just felt unreal being so relaxed and having the party mood all the time. That's what it was like down there.
By far, the Australian shows were a lot better than the American shows. The Americans were all sort of glittery outfits and just totally inappropriate to the, you know, the heat and the surroundings that we were in. They were all dressed up, tuxedos and stuff. It just didn't, you know, didn't look right. And, we thought Don Lane might have been there, but I don't think he was.
R&R was the ultimate experience for a Vietnam soldier because this was big time. We really thought we were hot. We come in from the operations and everybody's prize was when are you going on R&R? That was the big prize of going overseas. And some went to Taipei, Hong Kong. Some came back to Australia who were married. We got to Hong Kong and it was a sight for sore eyes, which is skyscrapers, bright lights, pretty girls, and merchandise coming out of our ears. It was like a cargo hold. The stores were dripping in cameras, records, anything. Anything we didn't have in Australia was there. And out came the dollars. Clothing was the big thing too. I went and bought about 3 sports coats, I don't know why. Records, I couldn't believe my eyes. Supremes, Rolling Stones, they were everywhere. They were released there before we got them at home. And I went in and got Sergeant Pepper's. And the guys at home hadn't seen it yet, and we were thrilled. We took it back to Nui Dat and played it day and night and sang along with it.
Late on the final evening of Operation Cooperoo, the 1st of July, we came out of the jungle and bivouacked in a disused rubber plantation next to our PZ for the next day's return to Nui Dat. The soil was heavy and red, and we lay all night in puddles at the mercies of the
But it was on Operation Santa Fe, and we had some incoming fire. And, you know, the natural thing to do is to jump in your pit and put your head down and pray and hope. But not Eddie, he jumped up there and grabbed the M60 like Audie Murphy and just stood up there and blazed away. And